The Osun State chapter of the People's Democratic Party has described the Osun Governorship Tribunal judgment as sabotage and deliberate undermining of the new Electoral Act. The party also accused the chairman of the panel, Terse Kume, of bias and pledged to report the judge to the judicial disciplinary bodies. State PDP caretaker chairman Adekunle Akindele made their position known while addressing a world press conference in Osogbo, the Osun State capital, on Saturday. Akindele said the judgment directly undermines the wishes of the electorate and the party will appeal the judgment.
The stance of the tribunal chairman was clearly demonstrated in his side of stalemate with his choice of words, which we considered unethical, disrespectful, and unbecoming of a judicial officer of such standing. Even if the judgment was way billed to him, as we suspected by his petitioner collaborators, he should have disguised and exercised some restraints by expunging the foul languages obviously written for him in local parlance of Buga lyrics to disrespect an elected governor.
Adekunle Akindele there, the Osun State PDP caretaker chairman. And joining us virtually from Osogbo is a legal practitioner, Abiyo Hashim, who is actually one of the counsels to Governor Adeleke. Thank you so much, Abiyo, for joining us tonight on the program. Yes, we have seen your response to the judgment by the tribunal there. But you know what? Questions now are being raised with regards to how we got here in the first place. And of course, the fact that one of the main issues raised by members of that tribunal is the fact that INEC had two different beavers presentation, and of course we saw two different results being presented when the PDP and the APC requested for that. So the question is, Nigerians are concerned about this development and its implications, especially as we look forward to the 2023 elections. What is your reaction really from the camp of Adeleke with regards to the beavers and the results which got us to this place we are?
Thank you very much for having me. And I want to say that as far as the deployment of beavers is concerned, there is nothing to worry about. And what happened at the tribunal was just a matter of preferring a secondary source of evidence to a primary source of evidence. What we are talking about in this regard is not the beavers machine itself. It is not the data from the beavers machine itself. It is a report from the server, the back-end server of INEC. You see, if you are familiar with the use of the beavers machine is a technological device that is used for the authentication, confirmation, and verification of a voter's detail. And it goes pari passu with the voter's register. So for a voter to vote, you must first present yourself to the electoral officials, and they will check your name on the voters register. Then they will use the beavers machine to verify, confirm, and authenticate your details. So then as a result of that, they will accredit you. Is either using your face or your thumb. And that is why they call it bimodal voter accreditation machine. Beavers machine. So from there, the beavers machine does not require any data to function. It does not require network to function at all. But in order to send information from the beavers machine to the backend server, it requires data to transfer that. But that does not affect in any way the data already captured directly by the beavers machine. So there is nothing to worry about the beavers machine. So what was in contention at the tribunal was that immediately after the declaration of results of the election, the APC applied to INEC for this beavers report, and a report was printed from them from the server. Now, when they got the report from the server, they used that to file an election petition that because the data they got from the Beavers report, the information they got from the Beavers report was not in tandem with what is contained in the electoral form, that is the form EC80, which were used in declaring the results of the election. So upon filing the petition, we, the respondents, I appeared for the second respondent. We were led by we were led by Dr. Ikpeazu. Dr. Alex Izion appeared for the PDP, the third respondent, while Professor Ananaba appeared for INEC with alongside other counsel. So as for the respondent, we applied for the Beavers reports from the back-end server as well. And we were given another report. When we got that report from the back-end server, it did not tally with what petitioners, the APC, got from INEC as well. So we said, okay, this is a situation whereby we have two contradictory reports from the same source, that is the back-end server. So the best to do in the circumstance was to recourse to the Beavers machines themselves that were used in the election. And we sought an order of the tribunal, which was granted, for us to do a physical inspection of the Beavers machines themselves. And during the physical inspection of the Beavers machine themselves, we got a report extracted directly from the Beavers machine, which was of a different nature from the Beavers report from the server. So what we got from the Beavers machine directly was what we put before the tribunal, and we put the machines as well before the tribunal. So in the circumstance, since the report from the server itself is a secondary source of data. Since the report from the server, we got one report from the server, they got one from the server. The report from the server are contradictory, and since they are contradictory and they are pieces of evidence gotten from from a secondary source, the best evidence in the circumstance was to recourse to the primary source, which were the Beavers machines themselves and the data extracted directly from the from the Beavers machine. And this we placed before the tribunal. But in the wisdom of the chairman of the tribunal, I will not call it majority judgment this time around, because the chairman delivered his judgment. He gave the microphone to member one. Member one delivered a dissenting judgment, which was, they call it minority judgment, but the judgment he delivered was not the same as what the chairman of the tribunal delivered. But the other member two, the chief magistrate, did not say anything other than she held the microphone and greeted us and bid us farewell. What we saw at the end of the day was that she countersigned, which was wrong in law. She countersigned what the tribunal chairman delivered in his judgment. She did not deliver any judgment in writing as required by the law, but that is not the issue now. So what I'm saying in essence is that the tribunal chairman closed its eyes against the primary source of evidence, the primary data before the tribunal, the primary source of evidence before it, that is the Beavers machines themselves and the data extracted directly from the Beavers machine, but now preferred the data, the report from the server that was presented by the petitioner. And don't forget that there are two reports from the server, one by the petitioner, one by the respondent. And since the two reports were contradictory, we had to recourse to the primary source. So for the tribunal chairman to have to now prefer the one presented by the petitioner over and above the one presented by the respondent, especially in the face of the primary evidence that is before the tribunal, then that calls the judgment delivered by the chairman of the tribunal question.
All right.
So that's
a very exhaustive submission, but from his summation, you can see, the discrepancies there. But that's left for the appellate courts, to dissect. We want to thank you so very much, Abioye Hashim. He's one of the counsels to the respondents. I think the People's Democratic Party, I suppose.
Yes.